Good afternoon, everyone. This is Henry Gambell with SimplerTrading.com, and in tonight's free video, I've got just a couple of pretty direct ideas that I wanted to look at with you. The first of which is the sentiment that we have coming into October. So we've got a couple of days of October behind us, and I think, depending on who you ask, there is kind of some prevailing sentiment that suggests that October could be a bearish month, and the first and second days of October did see that come through. That sell-off has seen a large majority of market participants coming in and pursuing the short side of equities. You can see that here through the put-call reading. And we usually like to measure it through the 10-day simple moving average of that. So you can see when we get a little bit oversold here that everyone is complacent or bullish, and then of course that triggers a significant decline. Now that we're through that decline, you could argue that everybody is bearish, everyone is looking for more weakness in October, and because that is the overall thought, most people will tend to be wrong in those situations, so we should see equities, maybe push higher. It's just one piece of information as you work to create the complete story for your trading plan as you get through this next month and, kind of kicking off the last quarter of the year here. But that's one thing that I am definitely paying attention to and will be carrying into next week. Okay, if you can get behind that idea, or at least just consider it as a piece of information, then take it back over into SMH. This is one of the ETFs that you can use to look at semis. And what I think is most interesting about it kind of right here is that we are in a fresh daily squeeze. So this is one of my favorite signals for a directional move. You can see that populating right here in one of the lower subgraphs of this chart. And it doesn't show up in SMH too often. You can see that you had one right here, and look at the move that drove, right? Once it actually, ends the compression, because the idea is that you're trading in a range here, volatility is compressing, and then once it releases, you get a very significant move from 114 up into 123. Okay, if you can see that pattern, I think that this is somewhat similar, where you're working through this compression area, price is consolidating, and if everybody is bearish, but we're actually getting ready to move higher, semis are probably going to be a part of that rally. So comparing the move that kind of led us into this compression, I think has me generally leaning to the buy side of it. Being up here close to lifetime highs is also a helpful, I think, a bullish kind of tone to it. Also, if you come back and look at the weekly chart, the trend here, I think, is very obvious. Of course, there has been some ebb and flow to it, but overall, we are very clearly working within a pattern of higher highs and higher lows. We respected the 10-week simple moving average and held up well against that this week. If that can continue to hold against about 115, 116 as you get into the next couple of weeks in October, I think you try to pursue this to the long side, and I think it offers a move up above 123.56, and that's where I would begin taking profits. So I hope that's helpful and gives you a couple of things to consider as you start getting into the next week. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, we'll pick up on these ideas in the next free video.